look at this. Look at the battling, and it is a safety car. Here comes Nika into slow corner. Whoa! Almost. And away we go here in the Netherlands. Got F1 down towards the next couple. Oh, it is! Oh my god! Whoa! Bit of a season as Nano wins in Monza for FRLT Tier 1 of 4. And right, Benny! Oh, he goes! Hello, and welcome back to FRLT Season 5, and it is time for assists here tonight. We are just moments away from getting started. Tonight is an interesting start tonight. We're just waiting on, I think, 2 drivers at the moment. I think there's still drivers who haven't received invites. Suspect this is because they haven't added me or they're not online. So I'm currently waiting on somebody to come online, but as you can see tonight, it is an interesting evening because we come to none other than Monza here tonight. As you can see, 5.793 kilometers, 3.599 miles, 11 turns, 2 DR zones down the pit straight and down that back straight. Pretty interesting evening got ahead of us. Here's the calendar as well. Monza is where we start off here tonight for assists. We'll then be going to Mexico next week, followed by Brazil, and then the Netherlands. And then round 5 will be a lovely mystery race. We've got a break week just before that, but round 5 will be a mystery race. Then we go to round 6 in Hungary. Imola is round 7. Great Britain will be round number 8 with another mystery race when we come round to round 9 before our break week. And then we will have Japan, Belgium, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar to end off the season. Okay, so we're going to be getting going in the next few moments. Also, to give you the rundown, this is what we had in qualifiers. These are the teams who have qualified. As you see on the left-hand side, ABE, ABE qualified first, followed by SET in second, UFRT in third, then SKG in fourth, LR in fifth, XR8 in sixth, PR in seventh, AZR in eighth, EVR in ninth, and VMV in 10th. Those are our teams for the season. I will bring up team cards in a minute, as we'll be getting underway very shortly. We're going to be getting ready in about 2 minutes' time. 2 minutes, we'll be getting ready to go. And I think the last driver is in. Almost in. Just waiting for him to load in. Been waiting for this for XR8 for a little bit of a while. It's partly my fault, but also partly these guys. Because they don't like to get ready on time. And we're going to do one last check of the settings before we get into this evening. Making sure everything's good for this evening. And we are readying up. We are ready to go for our fifth season. Assists, by the way, anybody wondering? Assists are basically, it is tier 1 from previous seasons. So assists is just tier 1 from previous seasons. So if you're wondering what this tier is now, it is the same as last season. Same with 4s, of course. That's the same. One difference does come. Hello, Sakir. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Dams. One of the differences this season, of course, is no assists. But there's another big change to this season as we are loading in. There's a massive change to this season's rulebook. And specifically do with points. Points have changed. The point system has completely changed. The point for fast lap and the second point for pole is still there. So those 2 points are still in. But everything else has changed. A win is no longer 25 points. It's now 18. So we've dropped 7 points off of that. Second place is now 16 points. Third is 13 points. Fourth is 11 points, and fifth is 10 points. Then sixth is 7 points. Seventh is 5 points. 5 points. Then it is 3 points for eighth, 2 points for ninth, and 1 point for 10th. And we are finally in and ready to go for today. First race of the season is going to be underway. First race of season number 5. We've done the qualifiers. We've made it through to this point. Of course, the reigning champions, AMS, did not qualify for season 5 assists. It's the first time ever that they haven't qualified, and it looks like the first car coming out onto the track is going to be the lovely driver of Frozen. He's coming out onto the track here tonight. Let me double check. I'll just quickly tell you who is in what. So, to point out for tonight, who is in what cars? McLaren, as you see right out on screen, is SET. Ferrari is AZR. LR are in the Red Bull. UFRT are in the Mercedes. SKG are in the Aston Martin. XR8 are in the Alpine. VMV in the Haas. PR in the RB. ABE in the Williams. And EVR in the Sauber. Yes, EVR are in the Sauber, which is crazy. Hello, Timon. Hello, Ryan. Yes, we are back. We are so very much back for this season. First car out on track. We're going to be seeing our first flying lap of season. We're going to be watching our first flying lap of season 5 on board with Washed Frozen. We're just going to call him Frozen. Frozen making his way around. He has raced for... He currently races, of course, at SET, but he did race, I believe, at AMS previously. So he did do that last season. But Washed is going to be the first driver around to start off a lap and the first flying lap of season 5. And off we go as he opens his rear wing to the DRS. Heading down this pit straight. It's a very long pit straight. Takes you about 9 seconds before you reach the end. On the brakes into turn 1, about 100 meters on, and fully turning it through turn 1 and turn 2. Strong braking onto the throttle now, and fully going down towards the next chicane of turn 4 and 5. Into turn 4 and 5 now. Throwing the car in, braking about 100 meters again, throwing the car through a little bit deep there. Little bit of understeer for Frozen. Now into the first part of this double right-hander. I cannot remember any of the names at all, because that is just me. Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. There we go. Finally got it. Heading down the next straight. Into the left-hander. through the left, right, and left. And we need a driver to get an invite. We'll get that sorted in a minute. But as now, you can see the lovely driver of Frozen making his way round towards the end of his lap to cross the line. He does a 1 minute 17.845 to begin qualifying here tonight. And that is one hell of a lap put in from him. And it's the first lap of the season. And I have to say, I'm excited for this season because there's a lot that could happen. I think we've got the Ferrari coming up to the line of Sven. He's the second driver. He's 7/10 off at the moment. He's a bit off. And I need to invite you, Timon, because for some reason, of course, you don't decide to have good internet. Please say you're online. You're not online. Great. I don't have you on my list. You're not on my shortlist. You maybe get your teammate to invite you back. That's what I would suggest. A couple of other drivers now across the line. Pesci in second. He's still quite far off. You can see Manuel Yanni crosses the line into an 18.2. But Frozen, he's very far ahead at the moment. I mean, he's a good 4/10 ahead, just under that, about 3.5 ahead of Yanni Casares at the moment. So it is a quite big gap at the moment. So Frozen definitely putting in a good first lap. SKG not getting away with it too well for the moment. Austin's coming into the pits. Do we have Ken Dog into the pits? Yes, we do. I think we've got Fire coming round for LR. Got everybody. I see a lot of drivers lining up back here. A lot of drivers. Inward goes into P6. Not too bad. He slotted himself quite nicely. But that grid from 3rd down to 10th. 3/10 dividing them. Pretty close, I have to say, for most of them. Only a few hundredths dividing each driver at the moment. So it is looking pretty close in that mid-pack. So we'll have to see how other drivers do. I think Brand just crossed the line. He went P8. Solo lap into an 18.5. 3 drivers in an 18.5. He's exactly 100th off of Sven for the moment. So he's a bit off at the moment. He's only a little bit off. Not very far behind. So of course that is AZR in the Ferrari. So Sven, PR in the RB. It's quite interesting to see though. Quite interesting to see nonetheless. I think we got Fireball, who's slowly going around. He's not doing a full lap. We've got Maximilian on a lap. Got Maximilian pushing on a lap at the moment. Let's see. First sector. Not too bad first sector-wise. I do think at the moment it is looking like, SET looks like they've got a bit of pace behind them in that McLaren. They're looking pretty strong at the moment. They look, they've definitely got that bit of pace behind them for the moment. Aston Martin. So, of course, Aston Martin. But Maximilian looking pretty good. It looks like JD Bergsma is having quite a few problems at the moment, internet-wise. And across the line, Maximilian, an 18.0 from the LR driver. What a strong lap there. I'm gonna have to get used to who's in what cars, which is why I'm actually looking at the list. But it is LR. I'm double checking myself because I don't want to get it wrong. Fireball, he's making his way around. He's only up by 4 seconds in the middle sector. He's going to gain a lot more now. I think we just saw Williams. I think that was a Williams that crossed the line. That was a light cast. Fireball only goes P13. ABE struggles already starting here tonight. Bad Boy 2005 in for this in for UFRT here tonight. Let's see how he's going to be doing. I think it is looking interesting. The grid is decently close. I think if you were to say that the grid isn't, they're pretty close. I mean, a lot of drivers in the 18.4s and 18.5s. That seems to be the majority of drivers at the moment. Definitely, that's the majority of drivers sort of sitting there. Bad Boy making his way round. Let's see how he can do. A lot of drivers still haven't set a lap time. We're quite far into the session. Still quite a few drivers haven't set a lap time. We're on to the second runs at the moment. So, would be interesting. And across the line, what can Bad Boy do? He can only go P10. He just slots into P10 there. Little bit disappointing, I'd say, for these guys. Not exactly what they would want. Not what UFRT would be looking for exactly in qualifying performance. I think we've got a slow... I think we have a slow Red Bull out on track. I think that's a slow Red Bull. That's Fireball. Ken Dog is, I think, the next one to be crossing the line. Or it's Sven. No! Sven! Sliding his way into the final corner. And that is his lap, I think, pretty much done. He's up by over a tenth. So that would have shot him up to about P5. So pretty frustrating there. But there goes Ken Dog into P3 and into an 18.169. And a strong lap. A very strong lap there from himself, nonetheless. And that is what you look at for lap time. Inver just went P3 into a 1 minute 18.1 as well. Just beating Ken Dog to P3. Very solid lap times we're seeing from a lot of drivers for the moment. Very, very, very solid lap times we're seeing from a lot of drivers. I think we've got Ferrari up to the line next. That is AZR Austin. He's invalidated. What was his lap anyway? It was an 18.3, so would have actually been P6. Some drivers really having some strong runs here. Some are having strong runs, some are struggling a bit more than others. So XR8 aren't looking too great. P12 and P20 for the moment. They're looking like they're on a bit of a struggle at the moment. We've got Kuba, who's making his way round. Coming up to the line and across the line, Kuba only goes P7. Bit of a struggle there for himself. Only into P7 he goes. And SKG not looking top of performance yet. In the grid, not top of performance as of yet. So still a bit of a way to go. We saw Beast. He went P6 there. Very solid lap. The Saubers of EVR, they're looking really strong at the moment. P4 and P6, really where you want to be. We've got 5 teams, by the way, inside of the top 5. 5 different teams. I think we just saw somebody cross the line. That was a McLaren, I think. That was Code who crossed the line. He went to P9. Pretty much all the drivers are in the 1 minute 18s. All of the drivers are currently in the 1 minute 18s. Very surprising to see. Did not expect to see everybody setting 1 minute 18s today. So I didn't think everybody would be in within a sort of a second of each other. So this grid is very, very close. JD Bergsman having a couple of bits of lag. So might want to watch out for that. Frozen's coming in. He's not happy with his lap. Maximilian's just started a lap. Inver's going slowly. Yanni is going slowly as well. He's going for another run. Got Kubu's going slowly. Same for Beast. I'm trying to find a driver who is on a run. Edward, possibly. We've got an Aston Martin. I think we got a Williams as well. He's just starting around. JD Bergsman's invalidated. He only did an 18.9, so he would have gone slowest of all. So it wasn't a great lap anyway from himself. We've got Sven starting his run. I think we got Code slowly coming round. I think, yeah, he's coming round into the pits. So he's done on his lap. We do have Thomas, though, coming round. Let's see what he's able to do. Is he going to go fastest? No, he's not, but he is going to go P10. VMV looking pretty strong. They're looking pretty strong so far, and that is P10. And into the top 10, VMV break. Emmanuel not able to get there at the moment. Not able to be there at all. Bit of disappointment. A lot of disappointment, I'd say, there for himself and for his team. Yanni has invalidated as well, so SKG not starting off their season perfectly. Neither is ABE at the moment, only 17th and 19th. So their pace from what we saw at the beginning has disappeared. Maximilian improved very slightly, so it's a small improvement. Fireball goes up to P15, over a 10th improvement, but just misses out on getting up to 13th and 14th. So just missing out for the moment. We've got Sven who's coming around. He's down by a 10th in his middle sector, so we'll see whether he is he pushing. Let's see, is he pushing or is he holding back for the moment? The Ferrari is holding back and done for his day. AZR not looking perfect in this qualifying session. AB looking probably the worst out of any team at the moment. I mean, some of the top teams from last season, XR8 at 12th and 20th at the moment. We're seeing AZR 13th and 18th. Very much where they've been. What are the EVR cars? The EVR cars are the Saubers, I do believe, if I'm correct. Yes, they are. Sauber is the team. Is the car they're in. We've got cars limping their way around the track, including Fireball, who is not limping his way around the track. He's going quite quickly. We've got Frozen on an outlap, though. He hasn't been able to improve off of that first time, and people have gotten a lot closer. It's not 4/10. That's now half down to about a 10th and a half. Just over a 10th and a half is the gap at the moment between first and second. So that gap is very much closed up by the 4/10ths we saw at the start of the session. But, yeah. Now, starting off his lap, Frozen making his way round. Let's see how he's going to do. Into turn 1 he goes. Into turn 2, looking very smooth. Looked quite smooth. A little bit of a bump through turn 1, it looked like. So he might have lost a little bit of time there, but he's looking pretty strong overall. He's looking like he's back on the pace again for this lap. What is he? He's down by 24 thousandths. I thought he lost, it looked like he lost a little bit of time. Much better through turn 4 and 5. Much better through Lesmo 1. And the car just turns when he wants it to. The car's it's just being commanded by him, and it is following his lead. Very good. Onto the DRS once again, and making his way down towards the end of the middle sector into probably the hardest section on the track. He's up by a 10th of a second, so this looks like it could be a very good pole position at the moment. If he doesn't go too far, he goes perfectly up to the line. Now, making his way down towards the final corner. Can he make this final corner go? Yes, he can. And it is going very, very well. And he's still pushing on his lap all the way up to the line. Can he improve? He doesn't improve. He actually holds off a bit on the final corner. So he's going for another run. So he was clearly not happy with that first run. He must have felt like there was more in it. But he's going to have to get out of the way because Imwa is on his way round on starting his lap. Whoa! And it's a massive slide into turn 1 and he cuts the corner completely. We see Maximilian does the same. Not Maximilian. My bad. Fireball. I have explained this to drivers a few times now. Please do not cut track limits. Except drivers don't seem to listen to that, which is quite strange. Because that could be a penalty, by the way. That could be a penalty. But what team are the McLarens? The McLarens are SET. So SET coming into the season, very much against what I thought. SET coming into the season as the favourites at the moment. Absolutely astonishing that they're coming into the season as the favourites. I did not expect to see SET coming in on top for the first qualifying session. And in that middle sector, of course, Austin still hasn't set a lap time, so we don't know where he's going to be, but he is going to have some traffic ahead of him. Remember, he's got to be careful. He can't take any slipstream, because that can be up to a qualifying ban for the next race. So teams are going to be a lot more careful about that. It can be a qualifying ban. So they've got to be really careful about slipstream. And across the line, where does Austin go? He goes into P15. Not the best of positions at all. I don't know where anyone is. Frozen, he's not going quick. Inwa is just coming around on his lap. Kuba Kuba goes P3. Solid lap from himself. His teammate, Yanni, can only stay P6. It's not a good enough lap for him. And Melaron goes into P8. XR8 jump into the top 8. And that's what they really needed today. I believe it is Beast coming up to the line next. Beast goes P4. P4 from Beast and a strong lap from himself. Brown can only go P13. We see Edward goes P8. What a strong lap from himself. We've got somebody else. That's Code coming across the line in P8. Then Kendog, P4. Sliding into that position of P4. Very strong from himself. We've got Emmanuel, who's invalidated his lap, sadly. We've got a couple of drivers coming into the pits. We've got JD Bergsma, who's invalidated his lap anyway. So that is disappointment for ABE. 19th and 20th last in the grid. Terrible, terrible start to their season. Especially in qualifying. There goes Fireball. P12. Solid lap from himself. And that is pretty much it. I think, unless Austin's got something to do. No, I think that is everybody's. What? As Frozen goes even faster. 53 thousandths faster into a 1 minute 17.791. And that is your man on pole. Frozen. Fastest of all. Absolutely incredible. Just over 2 tenths ahead of the rest of the pack. Pretty good. SET out on top here tonight. And it's their first, I believe, if I'm correct, it's their first ever pole. If I'm correct, it's their first ever pole, and they've earned it straight out of the first race. If you had asked me who was going to be on pole, I wouldn't have said SET. I was thinking more EVR, SKG. I did not ABE. I was thinking those sort of 3 teams, not SET. But let's go through the grid order. It is Frozen on top, followed by Maximilian in 2nd and Kuba in 3rd. Kendog is 4th with Beast in 5th. Imwa 6th. Yanni in 7th. Code in 8th. Edward 9th. And his teammate Melaron in 10th. Pesci is 11th. Fireball in 12th. Thomas in 13th. Emmanuel in 14th. Brown in 15th. Sven in 16th. Austin in 17th. Bad Boy in 18th. And it is the ABE duo of Lightcast and JD Bergsma in 19th and 20th. Disappointing. The fastest in the qualifiers become the slowest in the first qualifying session of the season. Absolutely cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. It's going to be interesting this season, nonetheless. It is that qualifying session. I have no words for it. No words for that qualifying session. I did not think SET were going to pull off a pole position. But somebody's readied up way early. I don't know who's done it. And we are going as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in Monza for round 1 of FRLT Assists. Season number 5. And it is a good getaway from Frozen. But Maximilian is right there with him. So is Kuba. Kuba's now fighting with Maximilian over P2. Into turn 1 they go. Oh my god, look at all the chaos going on. That was an SKG driver sliding down the inside. And you can see everybody sliding through the corners. You can see Maximilian staying in front for the moment. And that is so far not going too badly for a lot of the drivers. Making their way round into this middle sector. So now they head through into the middle sector. Looking pretty clean from a lot of drivers. A lot of drivers keeping the space. Keeping it going. And so far, Frozen still leads away. Most of the drivers in the same positions they started in. Code's fallen down the order quite a bit. And that is not a good start for him. PR, Bran, is up to P11. Pesci as well finds himself into the top 10. He's in P9. So not too bad for most of the drivers so far. And you can see Frozen just leading away with complete ease. But it's been a good start for SKG. 3rd and 5th. Beast has dropped down the order a lot with his dive bomb. I think he's dropped down to P10 there. But you can see, look at this. Into the final corner. Yanni trying to attack the man of Kendog, who is attacking Kuba. for position here. We're going to turn on some of the data, and you can see tyres-wise, quite mixed. I think hards are mostly used with some mediums mixed in there. But it is an interesting start. Look at this. Kendog going for it on Kuba. He's really racing Kuba into the first chicane. Who's going to come out on top here? Is it going to be EVR or SKG? They've had their fair share of battles last season. Are we going to be seeing more battles again from them this season into the next chicane? Side by side, Kendog, he has to back out. Ultimately, he doesn't hit the curb well, and that drops him down to P5. And now he's a bit under attack from ABE Edward, from the XR8 driver, and oh, that's a massive slide from Edward in the end. Not the best of slides, not what you want to see. You can see Inward's got a little bit of trouble. He's in a bit of trouble at the moment. I think he has his wing is intact. I thought he had a bit of damage, but no, he's got a bit of fighting from a driver who's slightly quicker than him. But everybody has so far gotten through the first 2 laps relatively okay, and that is surprising to see. JD Bergsma, though, see already up to 18th. He's made his way through the grid pretty easily. You can see the front 2 starting to now pull away from Kuba and Yanni in 3rd and 4th. I think they are on the hard tyres though, so expected to see. But DRS will now be enabled. And we can see Maximilian is gaining speed. Are we going to be seeing our second team lead a lap in this season? There goes Maximilian into the lead of the race before turn 1. And a nice smooth move, not losing any time. And that's a good move. And that is LR into the lead of the race. And I believe it's the first time since Season 3 that they have led a lap. I don't think they've led a lap. I don't think they led a single lap last season. So it's interesting to see. But there we go. And there's LR leading. And this is where really LR wanted to be. I mean, last season they only scored 12 points. And at the moment they're on for 18. So where they're currently sitting, 18 points. More points in this race than they scored entirely last season. Of course, a bit of a changed point scoring system as well. So at the moment, it's looking like 24 points for SKG at the moment out in the lead. So they're looking like they're on pretty strong points. Same as XR8, same as EVR. They're all looking pretty strong. You can see UFRT up there and PR also up there. VMV have had a really bad start to their race. Down to 11th and 15th. Bad Boy picks up the first penalty of the season and of this race. The track limits as now he gets overtaken by Lightcast for 19th. Pretty interesting to see though, as there goes JD Bergsma trying to make a move. He's trying to get past Code for P17, and that is a move up the order. He's on the hard tyres as well, so he's gone for the longer strategy. That's exactly the moves he needs to be making. Already up to 17th on lap number 4. Going on to lap number 4, you can see a little bit of battling over last place. And Sven has a bit of a moment with Thomas. And Sven just really trying to stay in 15th place ahead of the VMV driver. But AZR, it's not been a good start for AZR nor VMV. VMV 11th and 16th. AZR 14th and 15th. PR 10th and 12th. So some of the lower teams not getting away with this race so far. Not going to be scoring any points as it stands. But I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams will still be scoring points. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 teams will still be scoring points. I had to double check. That I was getting that right. But 7 teams on for points here tonight. That's the same as we had the same last season, I believe, as well. Sorry, we had the same in Season 3. We had 7 teams score points. And I think last season, I think we only had 6 teams score points, I believe. Or maybe 7. Possibly 8. I think we had 8 scores. So at the moment, it's looking like it's quite interesting. But that's because both SKG and XR8 have both their drivers in there and EVR. So 3 teams currently taking up 6 spots as it stands. But heading down towards turn 1, you can see the front 2 are starting to break away a little bit. You can see Kuba holding on to this position in 3rd and 4, in 3rd. It's not been a bad start for SKG. It's not where they want to be, of course. They want to be leading this race. 5 laps, the first 5 laps of the season, and they haven't led a single one of them. Better than last season, of course. At the moment, they'll be leading the Constructors' Championship out of round 1. Now, of course, there is going to be a bit of an investigation after the race. I can confirm there is going to be a bit of an investigation into the race because of Kuba. I can confirm that. I can confirm that. So there might be a bit of there might be a penalty coming their way. Hello, Isays. Welcome to the new season. It is great to see you once again. But Maximilian has now led for a couple of laps now. I think he's led for sort of 3-4 laps of this race. LR picking up quite a few laps as there goes Beast on Pesci into P8. Exactly what EVR need. Remember, it is only 1 point gained just for that one place. So it is only 1 point. But the next place will be on for 2 points. So let's see. As now, Beast heads down towards turn 1. We can see Austin's come into the pits. He's the first driver to pit. And down into the braking zone of turn 1. He's trying to go round the outside. He's trying to get the inside line for the next corner. He's unable to. And that is going to have to hold on to P8. But it's still 3 points for EVR. And it's still not too bad for them. 13 points in the first race of the season. Not as good as last season, but of course, new point system. Bad Boy has had a bit of a moment in the first chicane. Bran as well, trying to make a move past Pesci. He does, and that's up to P9 for PR. And that's 2 points for them now. And look at this. Beast absolutely going for it into P7. And that is another 2 points gained. And that's now 15 points for EVR here tonight. You know, that's a decent jump. Still, SET will still score more points based off of tonight. SET will still score more points. But a lot of teams quite close to each other. Of course, different point system. Kendog gets a penalty. That's going to hurt him a lot. That's going to drop him outside of the top 10. This is not good for them now. That's changed it around. Lightcast now gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Code has dropped off with Lightcast as well. Further back. Couple of penalties starting to mount. 3 drivers now have penalties in this race. But it's still LR who lead away onto lap 7. They've led 5 laps of this race, by the way. They've led a whole 5 laps now. And it is starting to stack up. It's been a bit more of a quiet race. And there goes Bran on Edward, who's trying to get past him. But Edward holds on to P8 for now. XR really trying to hold on to positions. They're really trying to score these couple of points, especially with now a chance for P5 and P7 in this race. That's exactly what they want. They want those 15 points to add up for them. It's a bit cloudy. I have to say it is a bit cloudy here in Monza. So we'll have to see whether it is purely a bit of clouds, just some clouds and stuff, or is it going to start to rain, because it feels like rain might be on its way. It's still a bit sunny in places, but it is definitely getting a bit darker as the race goes on. So we do not know yet. I have to say, so far, AB's return and JD Bergsma's determination is pushing him closer and closer to position, because he's almost pushing for P14. He's made his way up another 2 places since we last looked at him, past Thomas and past Code. So he's really made his way up. Well, Austin pit, so he's only really made 1 overtake, but he's up another 2 places, up 5 places now from the start of this race. I think he's gained one of the highest amounts. If we have a look at position changes, he's gained 5. Only 1 driver's gained more, and that's Brown, who's gained 6. So he is the second highest for overtakes so far. So 5 overtakes. Now, Frozen takes the lead of the race. He's taken 6 laps to get back into the lead of it, but he's back into the lead. And up there once again, JD Bergsma now going for a move. I said about him making moves. He's trying to get past the man of Fireballs with as quickly as he can, but he's now got Thomas for company. That's not going to help him, as he now is down to P16, and that is bad luck for the AB driver and the AB team, who just can't seem to make a dent so far into this race. Timon, I can't. The list does not work. I've said to you, I've got a short list. I can't add you, I can't invite you because I've only got a short list. It won't reach you. I'm not even kidding. But yeah. So this race is going, it's going pretty calmly. I have to say, Austin now gets a 3-second time penalty. But I've got one thing I do have to say. Frozen is having a pretty decent day at the moment. He's having a pretty decent day. Frozen now pulling off 1.5 seconds into the lead. He's really broken away from Maximilian. Maximilian's also started to break away from Kuba as well at the same time. So he is starting to pull away. But DRS is going to reel them back in. And then you can see SKG working together to close the gap back up. But Yanni just about sitting on that second. But you can see there's still this 5-driver battle at the moment. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers still all in this battle over P3 in this race, at least up to possibly P2. So it is still a chance for a battle. It's all still up for grabs. Here comes Beast. He's not making the move just yet. He's just going to wait behind a little bit longer, but he does want to get Mellor on very, very soon, because then he can get up to P6. Edwards gotten a penalty as well in that time, so that's not going to help him. That's going to drop him outside of the top 10. And that's actually kind of good for EVR. It means they stay ahead. Kuba gets a penalty, and that is even worse news for SKG. Not what they want to be hearing. Look at this. Yanni's closed all the way up to Maximilian. You can see those medium tyres now starting to really go off, and the hard tyres coming to life. Finally in this race, they are coming to life. One interesting thing I will say about this is no team has ever achieved 2 1-2 finishes. Every team has only achieved 1 at most. It is ABE achieved 1, FG achieved 1, AMS achieved 1, and SKG are that 4th team that achieved a 1-2 finish. But here comes Yanni, while his teammate is under attack. Here comes Kendog, actually, heading down the inside of Kuba. Can Kuba make much up? No, he can't. He's struggling. He's onto the grass. But look at this. 4 wide. Drivers going all over the grass. 3 wide there for a moment. That's 2 drivers past Kuba. And one of them has a penalty as well. And now making their way round. It is going crazy. Look at this. Heading down into the next chicane. Who's going to go for it? Melleran still battling with Kuba. Kuba getting some contact. And that is, I don't know who's come out there. Melleran up into P4, Kendog into P3, and that's now allowed the front 2 to start to run away with this race, who are now 2 seconds off in the lead. Look at this Beast as well. He's going for it. He's on the hard tyres, just like Kuba, and now he's up to P5, and Kuba down to P6. And I think Edward is also going to be all over the back of him, trying to push for position here. And it is all going absolutely crazy over the podium places. Let's see, is JD Bergman on the list? He might be on the list. I really want to find him quickly before this straight, because if he is... Because he hasn't been showing up on the list. He's not on the list. He's not on the list. Why can't you be on the list one time? But we're going to have to leave that now. You can see Kuba is into the pits. Kendog is also into the pits. Kendog gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Code gets another 3-second time penalty. And that is not great at all. But the front 2 are starting to run away with this. 2.6 seconds out in the lead. That battling has helped them a lot. You can see Frozen has come out way ahead of Kendog and Kuba. Austin as well, by the way. His early pit stop has jumped him ahead of them as well. I can't check offline timing. I can't. It is 1 page. I'm not given multiple pages. I don't know what it is that you seem to think. I'm not given multiple pages. I'm actually getting a bit annoyed by this now. Because everybody keeps saying this. But you're not on there. Look. There is no change page. That is it. Jesus Christ. If you can't find your own way back, that's... I'm sorry, but that is your own problem. I've done everything I can. So, back onto the race. Let's focus on the race. And now you can see quite a few more drivers. Maximilian. Beetle, it's not unbinded. It's not unbinded. You just have like one page. When you're spectating, when you're being like comms, you only have 1 page. I'm pretty sure. Because I binded it last game and I still only had 1 page. Code has now set the fastest lap of the race. Lots of drivers have come in. Where's Kuba come out in all of this? He's down in P17. He's really lost out here. He's battling over P16 here. He's really lost out. Because he's behind Melleran and Maximilian and Kendog. That's put him so far behind. Okay. Melleran is Yasko. Perfect. What do you mean, Tyman? What? I don't... You're not speaking words, lad. You've re-added me. You haven't. You haven't re-added me. You haven't. Because I've gotten nothing through. I have nothing coming through. Yes, there's no point in keep on saying you've re-added me. There's nothing coming through. I don't know what you want me to do. Oh my god. I can't re-accept it. Nothing's coming in my inbox. There we go. Now it's come through. Holy. Man, you are a pain. You are a pain. Why are you not online? Why are you never online? I don't know why you're never online. You just never seem to be. You're literally not on there, mate. You're just not on there. For like the 50th time. You're not on there. You need to be online because you're not being online at the moment. Refresh. Let's see. Let's quickly see if this changes anything because I don't want to be in these screens for half the race. There we are. Jesus Christ. Well, we haven't missed much. Brand's up to P3 while Pesci battles over these positions. Sven. The gap has grown, but you can see the gap is actually shrinking. But look at how far ahead Frozen is. He's so far ahead of Kendog. 7 seconds in the lead. So the undercut seems to have worked because now these lot are battling. But what hasn't worked is for Kuba, who's a second behind the rest of these guys. He's really, really far behind. He's really struggling to make his way up. His pit stop has not worked for him at all. Neither has it worked for Edward because he's down to P16. A few seconds behind. So it's really not worked for some drivers, but it has worked for others. We'll see when they come in. Yanni's off in the lead by 2.6 seconds for the moment. But look at this. Look at Frozen. He's closed that down from 7.8 to 6.2. He's closed it down by 1.6 seconds so far. That gap is decreasing massively. But we'll see when everybody comes in. Is Yanni coming in? Because we might see him come in very soon. Is he going to come in? Because his teammate is coming. Is he coming in? No, he's not. Is Beast going to go in? These drivers, of course, are the ones on the hard tyres. Kuba was on the hard tyres, but it just wasn't working. He was losing too much tyre wear. None of the top 7 still come in. They're still running onto lap 15. They go onto the 15th lap on those tyres. They're still going to be making their way. And a bit of a battle possibly starting between Fireball and Sven. It's looking pretty calm at the moment between these guys. Bran, of course, up in P3. He's caught up to Beast. He's caught up to Beast a bit, so that gap is coming down very slightly. It did just go over to 1.1 seconds a few moments ago, so he is trying to keep within that second at the moment because he's got Pesci behind him as well, and Inwa as well. Yanni, very quiet race for the SKG drivers. Start of the race was a bit more chaos, but he's had a very quiet race since then. He's just kind of leading this race, but he is going longer on the hard tyres. It's not working out for him at the moment. It's really not working out for him. Down in, he's 2.5 seconds in the lead of the race, but it's just not working at all. As Kuba makes his way up to P12, but this is not the progress he needs on fresh medium tyres. It's not the progress he needs, because he's used these laps. He's already done 4 laps on these tyres now. As Beast and Bran now come in, but he's done 4 laps on these tyres. He's about to go into his 5th lap. And these tyres only last about 10 to 12 laps. So he has got a bit of a push on these tyres. So I have to see, where does Maximilian come out? He's come out quite far ahead. You can see Beast is down quite a bit. Where is Beast going to come out? I have no clue. He's coming out outside of the top 10, so he's going to be quite far off. We might actually have a bit of battling into the first chicane. See, Lightcast is having a bit of battling with Emmanuel over 14th, but Beast has just come into 13th on fresh mediums. He's not far behind Code and Edward, so this should be a plus. Also with penalties as well. If he could catch up, he'll be easily within the top 10. Gaps have grown quite a bit. The gap has grown, but I think that is partly down to still teams. Some drivers still not pitting. 4 drivers yet to pit. Lightcast gets another 3-second time penalty. I mean, we've still got 4 drivers who haven't pit. And look at this. Frozen down to 3.4 seconds behind Sven, who was about 2 seconds ahead of one of the drivers who didn't pit. I think that was Bran, or not Bran. I think it was Fireball, who was slightly ahead of him. So the gap is closing in massively. And Kuba now goes into the pits. It is time for him to come into the pits and change those hard tyres onto lap 17. He's going to have 10 laps of running on those tyres. Yes, only 10 laps of running. You see his hard tyres did not look good there. But he comes out, he's behind Frozen. Where is he going to come out ultimately? He's down in P4. He's a few seconds off. He's down to P5. And he's going to lose a lot more places, even on fresh mediums. He's losing a lot of places. And even Code comes out in front of him. That's P10 for Yanni. P10 and on cold tyres. He's not going to be able to make any moves for a little, maybe about this lap possibly. He is going to have fresh tyres in Code and Beast and quite a few other drivers. But the other drivers' tyres won't be too worn just yet. So we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how this goes, because everybody's in a bit of battling for the moment. Everybody's in a little bit of battling. See, look at this. Beast up to P5. He's jumped Kuba, which is a good move for him. And that is up to P5. And that's a good move, an important move for EVR here tonight. His teammate has a penalty, but at the moment, they sit just outside of that, which means he will finish P3, but he has a 10-second time penalty on top of it, so we'll have to see whether that will get removed or not. He might try to remove it. If he doesn't, that's going to push him down, as Yanni now moves up to P7. 3 places, good from him, but he's still seconds away from the race leader. The gap has grown a lot. I think we're going to see his teammate just nicely move out of the way, give him a bit of slipstream. And it's a nice move up to P6. Alston now comes into the pits. He gets a 10-second time penalty, though, for speeding into the pit lane. And again, quite a few drivers. That's the second driver tonight to do that. We saw a lot of it last season as well. It really changed the course of the championship. I think in 2 races, the championship leader did that. And that led to the championship changing quite in a, it was a very big way that it changed. As now Alston retires, and AZR's season, very much like last season, is not starting off with a bang. It's starting off with a bit of a flop. And that is Pesci up to P12. That's a good push from him. A good position gained. AZR's currently 17th in DNF. Not the way you want to start your campaign. Not the way you want to start your campaign in any sort of way. But penalties will come the way of AZR and quite a few drivers at the moment. As now, you can see Edward up to 7th. He jumps ahead of Kuba. Kuba's really struggling on his medium tyres. As he drops down, he's really struggling. You see a massive queue of cars behind. Bran now moves up to 9th ahead of Code. And with the penalties in front, he'll be up to P7. So PR really pushing for some strong points tonight. A good 5 points to walk away from in their first race of the season. Pesci as well could be walking away with 1 point to add on to that as well for himself. So I think we're going to see a bit of battling. Yanni now gets past Beast for P5. And that is a good, strong move for himself. Bran now battling. You see Kuba and Edward battling over position as well. Can Kuba hold on to P8 in this race? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. And he has dropped down to P9. Kuba just going backwards through the field at the moment. It's not a strong race for himself. And it's not going too well, because now he's going to have Code on the back of him, who does have penalties, but it's allowing Pesci to catch up, which, as it stands, will put Pesci up into P8, potentially, in this race at the moment. P9 is definitely confirmed, so UFRT definitely scoring at least 1 point here tonight. So it is looking very interesting and very big, as now Yanni goes into P4, another position gain, but Tough thing he's got now is he's got to close by 5 seconds to the next position, then another 6 seconds, then another 5 seconds to the next in front. It's not particularly close for the lead, but he's got to gain that. It's probably going to take him about 2-3 laps to close that in. So at the moment, it's not looking too bright. The win is not looking on the side of Yanni. Of course, he will get the win because of penalties for KenDog. That's the only reason why he'll get P3. Not the win. I don't know why I'm saying that, but P3 as it stands. But the next one is Maximilian, who's slightly further in front, but DRS is going to be his problem because it's sitting around that 5-second mark, and Beast is keeping up with him as well. So Beast is pushing. Beast wants that. I think, to be fair, I think Beast is really wanting that podium as well. And that's going to be an interesting thing today, is whether we're going to see EVR take a podium in Monza. We're definitely going to have 3 teams on the podium. I do think we're going to have 3 teams. It's either going to be SET, LR, and EVR, or SET, LR, and SKG. It's going to be one of them. A bit of me wants SKG. A bit of me wants, a bit of me thinks SKG. A bit of me thinks EVR. At the moment, that's very much how I'm feeling. It's very torn between who's going to do what and when. And we say about that as Pesci moves up to P7 in this race. That's a pretty strong one for Pesci. And 5 points now for UFRT. Looking a little bit stronger than the start of their last campaign. Looking a little bit stronger. Getting some points. And of course, there are less points as well, remember, this season. So the total number of points that a team can score is going to be lower than they could last season. So of course, that's as Kuba gets another 3-second time penalty. Code gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, Kuba. Kuba's chances, I think, pretty much disappeared of getting any points today. But it's still left up to some teams. It looks like AZR could still potentially take some points. Same as VMV. They might also take some points as well. LR looks like they could be on for double points. But who knows? But you can see the gap at the moment for KenDog. It's looking all okay because it's it's about 4.3 seconds back, then another half a second, then another 4 seconds, then another 2. So it looks like he might just stay within the top 10. As it stands, he's going to stay within the top 10, so it will still be EVR double points. And on the way, LR double points as well, potentially. So it's looking like it could be on the way, but who knows how it will go. It's still a long way to go in this race. Still a few more laps to go. 6 more laps of racing. Inwo gets a 3-second time penalty. So does Fireball. And that ruins his chances. Ruins both of their chances of scoring points here tonight. And that is not what you want to hear. Never what you want to hear, to be honest. Most of the grid has penalties, which I'm very surprised by most of the grid having penalties. But AZR could be on their way for good points. They're on their way for at least P10. And here he comes. P9, sorry. Here comes Sven. Up into P10 he goes. Is he going to get 2? Yes, he is. He's going to switch to the other side. Down the inside he goes. And what a move! That is from Sven! What a move! I've never seen somebody do that. I've actually never seen it. I've done commentary for over 3 years, and I've never seen a driver have the balls to go and do a double move like that, just switching in between. I've never ever seen that. That is absolutely incredible. Kuba, off the track he goes. He's having some problems, I believe. I think he's having a wheel issue. And he is moving, but he's waiting, and he is going. He goes through it. If he had stopped and gotten a safety car, caused a safety car, I would have been not so much in a good mood. But you can see still, Yanni is not making enough of a dent. By this point, we said about on lap 19, he really needed to be with KenDog at this point. He's still not with KenDog now. He's still almost 4 seconds behind. Now he's going to have KenDog's teammate, Beast, to battle with over the position of the podium places. We're still going to see 3 teams on the podium, but SKG have gone from being potential championship leaders, by the way, championship leaders. They were on their way to do it. I think they were on their way to get 14 points earlier, or something like that. I think I said about 14 points they were on for earlier. Now they're only on for 10 tonight, and the championship lead will sadly go. I'm not sure who it's going to go to, because I don't think it's SET, because I know if EVR finish P3, that's 13, and Kendog is probably going to finish about 7th, potentially. Kuba retires, SKG's season starts. It's not where they want to be. It's far off of where they want to be. It's not been the strongest race for themselves. And that's not the way you want to start a season, to be honest. That's not the way you want to start a season at all. But we got to talk about one man, and that's Frozen. He's dominated most of the race. SET have led for most of the race now. I don't know how many teams have led now. I think we know that SET, LR have both led. I think, we know SKG have led. I think EVR led as well. I don't know who else has led. I think possibly PR, but I don't know. I don't know who's led. We'll go over. I think 4 or 5 teams. I think at least 4 teams have led in this race. But the pure dominance we're seeing from Frozen, I don't know what to say. It has been pure and utter dominance from SET. They're going to be taking their second win ever in assists. Their second win. And it's a big win for them as well, I think. To start the season this way is a big one. Now, some people, I know somebody mentioned earlier in, I think, another stream in the qualifiers about that the racing wasn't going to be as exciting this season as it was last season because of dirty air. Now, I do agree, the gaps are bigger than what we saw last season, but there's still a lot of drivers quite close to each other. Look from Edward down to, from 9th down to 12th, quite close to each other there. There's still areas where drivers are close, but I do agree, dirty air hasn't helped on this year's game. But I must say, we're still getting incredible racing from start to finish. We've got 3 laps of this race to go. 3 laps to go. The biggest battle on track at the moment is over the eventual position of P3 between Beast and Yanni, who are both battling over a podium place. Who's going to be on the podium? Who's going to be that third team on the podium to join SET and LR? LR are on their way to score more points this race than they did in the entirety of last season, which as much as I'm surprised by, I cannot believe how incredible their race has been, especially for Maximilian. The race from him has been absolutely incredible. I mean, last season, they struggled to get points. They only scored points in 2 of the 10 races in assists, or what was known as Tier 1 last season. This season, they've come into it, and they're immediately getting a podium. Immediately. Their best finish was P5 last season. This season, they were immediately coming in and returning to the podium places in that Red Bull. And I have nothing but respect for that. And I have nothing but respect for all of the teams here who are absolutely pushing everything they've got. 2 laps remain now as Frozen goes on to lap 26 of 27. The battle over the podium places continues. Here comes the man of Yanni. He's pushing. Pesci's also making the move. But look at this. Yanni is using strategy. He's not trying to get past just yet. He's just going to sit behind till the final lap and save energy. Pesci moves up into P6. Another 2 points gained from when we last looked. He was P7, scoring 5 points. Now he's going to be scoring 7 in P6. And a lovely 7 points walking UFRT's way to start off their campaign. Look at this. Now, Yanni is making the move on the man of Beast. But Beast has put him in a bit of a tough spot because he's made him drop off just slightly. He's now slightly behind, but is he slowing him down? Oh my god, I think Beast is trying to slow Yanni down. And so there's some problems. There's somebody that's gone off. That's Edward who's gone off. Edward retires from the race. And that's a 3rd DNF. And that's for XR8. Their campaign not starting out so well. This time last season, they came across the line to win it. Even though they got a penalty, they still came across the line to win the race. But now we're coming down. Onto the final lap goes Frozen. But the battle over the podium is still on. Look at this. You have Pesci sitting in 6th. He's sitting in there waiting for a move. Who is going to go for it? Who is going to take this third place? Beast is using all of the ERS he's got. He's going from side to side. He's gone to the right-hand side. He's gone to the inside line. Here comes Yanni. To the outside he goes. Diving down onto the brakes. Beast is still there. Oh, a little bit of a nudge from Beast into the first chicane. Beast is getting the exit though. He's getting a very good exit away. And it is still battling down through into turn 3. Into the long right-hander. They're still going at it side by side. Who's going to come out on top into the second chicane? Turn 4 and 5. Braking hard. Who is going to take it? It is Yanni, who takes P4 for now. But who is going to... Oh, Yanni makes a bit of a mistake off of the exit. And now, Yanni down. Look at this, Pesci. Pesci makes his move. He wants the move. He wants P5 in this race. And he's not going to give it up. But oh, look at this. Contact all over the place. As now, here they come. It looks pretty simple. Kendall gets another 3-second penalty. Not what he needed. Pesci, has he gotten it? Has he? No, he's still battling side by side. They're still battling. Who's has actually got it, but we got to look to the line. Frozen wins in Monza. He wins the opening race of Season 5 in assists. And what a win it is. Pesci down the inside. Look at this. Look at this. Absolute craziness. Kendog finishes third for the moment. His teammate will pick up the slack and finish P3. As now, Pesci finishes P5. Yanni P4. And what an end that is. Where is Kendog going to go? He's P8 for the moment. He is going to finish P8. And that is the 5 point. That is the 3 points for him, sorry. And that is... Holy, 16 points for EVR. My God. What an end that was. What an end. I don't know who scored points. Which teams have scored how many points. But we will look at that. But what an end. Holy. Oh, the battle for the podium. I think we're definitely going to have a championship on our hands. And whoever said the racing is dead on this year's game is wrong. Because it is definitely not dead. It is alive. And for this season, it is most definitely still going. But holy. Holy. What a race. What a race that was. I have nothing to say, but what a race. Oh. It is SET on the top step with a dominant finish. What a finish. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And as you can see, race winner Thomas takes the fastest lap. Driver of the day though is Sven, and most overtakes is Sven. Fair enough, Sven. What a day he's had. But let's go through the order. It's Frozen on top, followed by Maximilian, Beast, Yanni, Pesci, Sven, Bran, Kendog, Imra, and Mello on to top out to finish out the top 10. Then it is Fireball, Emmanuel, Lightcast, Code, Thomas, Bad Boy, JD Bozeman, Edward, and then Kuba, who retires, Edward, who also retires, and Austin. But most overtakes, Sven, 10 places gained. We have to talk about that. So, what an end. What an end to tonight. I have no words for that. What an end that was. One of the most brilliant endings, I think, to a race. Holy. Wow. Battle for the podium was really on there. 3 drivers all in it. But ultimately, guys, that is that. That is the end of the first round of assists. Let's just go through the calendar before I go. We've completed Monza, round 1 of 13. Next week, we'll be going to North America for Mexico. Then we'll be changing over to South America for Brazil as we go to Interlagos. Then we'll be returned to Europe for the Netherlands. And then we'll be going to the mystery race on the 30th of the 7th after a break week. Then to begin August, our August calendar will be Hungary, Imola, Great Britain. Then to finish out August will be a mystery race. Then it'll be Japan on the 10th of September. Then Belgium then Saudi Arabia and Qatar on the 1st of October to end off assists and end off season 5. Just to say, also, make sure to join us for the 2 other races that are happening this week. First, on Friday, no assists. It's a very interesting race, and it's a very interesting season start for them, as I believe, if I have a look at what track they are lovely going to, because I've forgotten, they are going to Monza as well on the 27th. So on Friday, make sure to join for Friday, because it is going to be Monza round number 1 for these guys as well. Then join us on Sunday as well. I won't be here on Sunday, but make sure to join us on the 29th, this Sunday, for the first race of 4s at Abu Dhabi. It's been a classic in 4s, and it's always created much racing. So make sure to join us for that. Ultimately, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please think about liking and subscribing. Also, make sure to click on the notification bell to know about all the content we're doing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's an absolute incredible start to the season, and I can't wait to see what else is going to happen. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye. Look at this! Look at the battling, and it is a safety car! Here comes Mika into Stoke corner. Whoa! Almost! And away we go here in the Netherlands. Got F1 down towards the next couple. Oh, it is! Oh my god! Whoa! Bit of a season as Nano wins in Monza for FRLT Tier 1 of 4. And